Call you Captain Ahab, how you're catching whales with that boat.
We're entering our flop era.
Shit's bleak out here. All right.
18 plus, who wants to get milked?
It's kind of quality we have here at Debate This.
I need the edge. I need what the raw, unfiltered internet can bring you.
This is probably only going to be the third or fourth dumbest thing I've said today.
That's for nobody.
Just out there raw dogging the internet.
Way more hog than I expected.
It's about as much hog as I anticipated.
This is going to be one of those episodes, isn't it?
Here comes the cow. Here comes the cow.
All right, let's get this over with so we can play Magic.
Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how Santa Claus is likely suffering from an email inbox full of AI solutions for making his list and checking it twice this year.
Good.
I have not seen any ads for like a new kids Christmas movie this year, at least none that have like broken containment and made my feed. But I imagine next year.
Are we allowed to make new stuff? I didn't know that we were allowed. We were doing
probably
that
not. That might be part of it. But next year, anything new that involves Santa is 100% going to have some AI joke somewhere.
Yeah.
It'll probably be like 5 movies that all make the same variations on the same AI joke.
Yeah. It'll be like Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis in one of them. And yeah. Anyway, hey, it's time for our annual non-denominational holiday celebration here at DT HQ. We did it. We made it to the end of the calendar year, and it's an exciting time where we gather together, reminisce on the passage of time, and in years past, we've done a gift exchange of the worst video game peripherals known to man.
Happy winter solstice adjacent holiday, non-denominational holiday, everybody. Woo! We did it. We made it.
Worst is saying a lot because I feel like year after year, we're like, no, we found the worst.
Yeah.
The barrel keeps getting deeper. Like we keep finding more, but
I thought we scraped the bottom of it and we found new bottom.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is the barrel keeps creating itself every year.
It keeps getting deeper, but also like, I think we also hit a like diminishing returns on new ones where like they start to get a little samey. Like when Matt brought piece of wood.
Just a 2x4 of wood was
that was dark.
We can't like, I think we tapped the variations of peripherals. I'm happy to be surprised. I'm happy to like try and do this again next year and be like, oh no, there's 4 more categories of awful peripherals we haven't even looked at yet. But
there are like definitely major themes, major subgenres of peripheral, if you will. Right? There is the like motion capture,
motion slop.
Yeah, motion sensors slop. There is something to do with
shell to put your controller in.
Yep.
Shell that is just representing what you would normally do with a button click.
And then there is marketing gimmick.
Gimmick.
I was going to say, where does raft land? And I feel like marketing gimmick is raft.
Things that smell like pizza.
Yeah, that's also
is the secret 4th one.
Yeah.
And then impractically large, maybe that you strap yourself into is the last one.
Yeah. Well, for this, our 8th non-denominational holiday celebration, we've decided to do something different. In a vain effort to counteract the woes of overconsumption, we've decided not to introduce more plastic into the atmosphere. Instead, we're going to summon the ghosts of gaming's past, present, and future to teach us that the reason for the season is the games we should have been playing along the way.
Hey, is anyone filled with dread by the fact that they can't find enough people to form a control group to test the effects of microplastics on people? That's what Matt's sentence just made me think of. Anyway,
Kyle, it's non-denominational winter solstice.
Come on,
it's
man.
holiday time. You said you wouldn't do this.
No bad vibes at the holiday party, man. You promised.
Yeah. I thought we went through this as we were huffing glitter while we were decorating the office about microplastics are off limits this year, Kyle.
I'm sorry. You guys didn't get it in writing, so
right.
I'm not bound by anything.
That's right. You're the problem here.
Joining me at this seasonal seance are Andrew, Snowflake, Arizona, Henderson, Kyle, Rudolph, Wisconsin, Harper, and Todd, Mistletoe, Kentucky, Thomas. Together, we'll put on our nightcaps, listen to the clattering chains of our underlings, and decide which canceled video game of yore should be revived as the new smash hit of the holidays.
These sound like code names that like the terrorists would use in a new Die Hard movie. Like,
yeah. I was going to say racehorses, but what you said is also good, Kyle.
Yeah.
I like that guess. My guess is they're Hallmark Christmas movie locations.
These are all actually real places that exist. Yeah. So all of these are real.
Do you think Snowflake, Arizona was founded before 2014?
I should know better, I guess.
I did find out that Mistletoe, Kentucky is not named after the holiday. It's named because a shit ton of mistletoe grows there.
Which makes sense.
That was pretty cool. So
I have never before in my life thought of where mistletoe might grow. Like it just appears every holiday season.
Kentucky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with that said, let's all gather around the table and pull out our winter-themed Ouija board and conduct a seance here to summon the ghost of gaming's past, to ask what canceled game do you suggest we revive, and why did it get canceled in the first place? Andrew, we'll start with you.
So, in the spirit of insert holiday here, I wanted to give a second chance to a game that hasn't necessarily been canceled, but has been in a version of development hell so long that most people think that it doesn't exist, even though it actually does. So let's think back all the way to the halcyon days of 2012. During the annual GDC Game Developers Conference, all the way back in 2012, the development of the game Star Citizen was first formally announced. This game was a passion project by industry veteran Chris Roberts, who you probably don't know that name, but you do know the beloved PC flight sim games Wing Commander.
Sure, I'm familiar.
Big game in the 90s for PC players. So Wing Commander was Chris Roberts' baby. During this 1 hour reveal, Chris Roberts revealed the grand plans for Star Citizen, this persistent universe, and I'm using air quotes there very unpurposefully, a persistent universe where players can freely navigate a open and expansive galaxy, complete with procedurally generated planets. You know where we're going. Players can explore, trade, they do missions, grow economies, be a bounty hunter, be a space pirate, whatever the hell your little spacefaring heart desires. Now, of course, the hype was so instantly real back in 2012 that the website that Roberts revealed during this conference immediately crashed.
Flawless.
Pretty good stuff.
Love to see it.
The peak of popularity in 2012.
That's correct. So shortly thereafter, a Kickstarter went up because it was 2012 and that's what everybody was doing. The company Cloud and Period Games, CIG, the developer, threw up this Kickstarter saying they were targeting a 2014 release date. Just keep that in mind. In addition to what I already mentioned in the GDC conference, a whole ass single player campaign was also announced saying, guys, guess what? Not only are we going to do this whole expansive universe thing, but we got a single player campaign that's going to have top tier voice talent and motion capturing. We got Gary Oldman. We got Mark Hamill. We got Andy Serkis. We got Jonathan Rhys-Davies. We got Gillian Anderson. We've got Ben Mendelsohn and a bunch of other voice actors, like famous actors for voices. So the Kickstarter came and went, was very successful. And then a new way to fund the game came out, which allowed people the ability to pay real money for in-game spaceships that could be available later in the game. This ship
could be available later, you say?
Yes.
Ooh, it's like investing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I can't wait to find out what the return was.
So think about it this way, Todd. What if you could pay a premium amount of money for
yes, I'll do that. Oh, wait, there's more. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
For a bespoke digital item that is uniquely yours, that you have full ownership of, and it exists solely in a digital ecosystem, That's
Are you
right. They
trying to
sold
trick us
spaceship
in-
NFTs.
Yeah, this is an NFT thing. I was going to say you're
It's basically NFTs.
you're short walking.
Well, but then it's mine and no one else can have it. It would be illegal for anyone else to have it. Don't screenshot my spaceship.
Guys, let's hear him out. He hasn't said the words blockchain yet. It might not be
That's
NFTs.
true.
It's not even blockchain. It's just an online marketplace. So
Just worse.
13 years and over $800 million later.
Oh my God.
That's vile.
Star Citizen is still today in early access. It's in Alpha 4.0. And it's been about 2 years away from development ever since.
Oh my.
Jesus.
I still remember sometime in 2014 or like as 2014 was winding down, seeing a whole bunch of like Star Citizen should be coming out any day now. And nope.
That's right. So to tie this all together, for the actual hundreds of thousands of people that have coughed up more than $5 for this game in the past 12 to 13 years, I've got incredible news. We're finally doing it. We finally found a way to release the full version of Star Citizen and mostly deliver on all of the grand promises and the vision of the game that's been built over the course of 3.5 United States presidencies. Coming this non-denominational winter solstice adjacent holiday season, I'm proud to announce the formal 1.0 full release of Star Citizen, a text-based space venture.
Wait, hold on, wait. Did you say text-based?
I did.
I couldn't be less excited for what you've just talked about. Like, we've talked about a lot of video games in 8 years. This is the thing that I'm the least excited for out of anything we've ever talked about, period, full stop.
This is the thing that's
We've talked about chicken shoot.
Todd, this is the only way that we can set Jacob Marley's soul to rest.
Good.
Marley needs this.
I had to open a new tab to make sure Star Citizen was a different game than No Man's Sky, because that's
It is.
Yeah.
I've confused those two in my head all the time, and I'm happy to report they are different games.
They are different games. No Man's Sky famously also
famously had horrible development issues.
had some touch, but No Man's Sky today fully playable, and may I say, great game.
Yeah,
I've heard it's been good now that
It's very good.
had a decade to figure itself out.
Yeah, I mean it's aged like wine.
I almost want Star Citizen to never come out. At this point,
Kyle, you
the
may
rest
get
of
your
the
Christmas
game's
wish,
press.
bud.
it is better as a game that is indefinitely in early access than
It is best off for you, Kyle Harper, and the rest of IGN that is the case.
Yeah, all right. Well, it is the holiday season. The holiday season being the biggest time for handwritten greeting cards, and thus perhaps paving a path for a text-based adventure in the year of our Lord 2025. We'll see. All right, Kyle, we transition through fog as the ghost of gaming's past spookily takes us to your game.
To my
What would
vision?
you like to revive for Christmas this year?
So the mists have swirled, and we're in a new memory. It is
Whose grave is the ghost pointing to?
It is.
That's the third ghost.
It is September
sorry.
2002.
A year later.
Small tech company Nintendo has decided not to re-up their 51% ownership of powerhouse game studio Rare. And small scrappy tech company Microsoft uses that opportunity to buy this famous game studio for themselves, for their new platform, the Xbox. Rare, you might know, created games like Perfect Dark, Star Fox, and the IP we'll be talking about today, Donkey Kong.
It truly was the shot heard round the world for video games.
For video
in
games.
2002. Like, does everybody remember where they were when they first heard that Rare was sold off to Microsoft?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember reading about it like after the fact in Nintendo Power in like the questions to the editor of like, what does that mean for games like Donkey Kong?
Yeah,
and Star
Dad's not
Fox?
going to be around much anymore, is what that means. It's not your fault.
Yeah. Your parents are getting a divorce. So here we got you Star Fox Dinosaur Planet.
Star Fox Dinosaur Planet happened before this.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
That was
Yeah,
like
but
the last
Microsoft has it
thing.
now.
It was the last casualty, yeah.
So with this acquisition, there was concern over what popular Nintendo IPs, Star Fox and Donkey Kong, would have happened to them in the aftermath. And everyone was assured that while Microsoft now had controlling ownership of Rare, Nintendo would still be able to own their properties. They would just have to license them from Microsoft, and then they would be included on Microsoft platforms. Which was good news for everyone of fans of a game for the N64 called Diddy Kong Racing, because a sequel for the GameCube was already in the works at this point called Donkey Kong Racing. And Matt, that is the game we are going to bring out of development hell for our fans today. Donkey Kong Racing.
Okay, sick.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't either until I went looking for games that got canceled. And there was a whole Donkey Kong Racing.
Now I'm mad about what they took from us.
Yeah.
This is what they took from us, Todd.
As someone who is not a huge fan of modern Mario Kart, I would like to live in the reality where Donkey Kong Racing was a game that
It is
happened.
certainly a major divergence of the timelines. Yeah.
That's the universe that got Al Gore as president.
That's the universe that got Al Gore as president. It sure is.
Well, all right. We have one more memory journey to take with the ghost of gaming's past, and we away to whatever your idea is, Todd. What are we doing?
Yeah, so I'm also going to take you back to yesteryear. We're going to sit firmly in 2019. Life was good in 2019.
Okay, I don't know
And
that that's true.
It's different.
Life was okay in 2019. But back then, my friends were trying to get me in to play this game called Overwatch that I resisted. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of the shooter Overwatch.
I have.
New game,
actually, yeah.
Small indie studio. And my friends were trying to get me into Overwatch that I kept resisting because Overwatch 2 was coming out shortly thereafter.
It's true.
As everyone who listened to our last flavor text is aware, 4 years passed between that announcement and when the game came out. And in between then, I started playing Overwatch, but I was getting excited for Overwatch 2. Mostly, I was excited for the PvE campaign and customized skill tree for the heroes as you play through it. Wasn't really excited for 5v5, but that's just a change. Now, being a small indie game studio, Blizzard did decide that the resources were too intensive and it was just going to be impossible to add a campaign of PvE to this game. And so they did the logical thing they could do after 4 years of development hell cycle, and they scrapped everything except for removing 16% of your friends from your team. So that was just what they decided would happen. But hey,
in my mind, it's just like the leadership at ActiBliz being like, but it's so hard.
It's a Tim Robinson bit is what it is.
I also really like the idea of the devs at Blizzard like wanting to kick their sixth friend out of the friend group and not having any better way than like, oh, sorry, Overwatch is only 5v5 now and we're full up. Sorry.
That's so good.
That's really funny.
Well, I've got good news. It's been a few years. Technology has caught up. And this year, we will be, in fact, releasing Overwatch 2 with PvE completely. And it will include that customized character skill tree as they advance through that campaign as well. Guys, we did it. We did it. It only took 6+ years of development, but we did it. We fixed Overwatch 2. Coming to you this Christmas.
Wow.
This is maybe the closest to home that an answer on this podcast has ever struck, I think.
Oh, Matt, do you play Overwatch 2?
Only a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I actually uninstalled the game from my PC today because that's the kind of weekend I had.
Wow.
Maybe we stopped doing this and we just talk about that.
No, I'm
do wanna
downloading
dive
it
into
again
that
now
later.
because the new season starts tomorrow. I just needed a break. Anyway,
Sure.
great. Well, back at the table here at DT !HQ, ready to go on another seance-ridden adventure, this time with the ghost of gaming's present, the objectively least interesting ghost of the three. Although still an interesting question, what about this game will resonate with modern audiences? Some of these games came out in a world, actually all of these games came out in a world that didn't know what it would be like if there was a zombie apocalypse in the US, something that we now know everybody wouldn't believe. With that, what changes do you suggest we make to update the playing experience of these games? Andrew, we will start with you.
So my answer to this is a little bit different, but I think it still retains the theme. Star Citizens does not have a challenge with resonating with audiences. I would argue that's been its actual major flaw, and the reason why $800 million has been pumped into this sucker is that all it is doing is resonating. We actually need to dial that back a little bit.
We need to kill interest.
Yeah, and here, so this is kind of we have to walk the line. We want to maintain the hype. We want to maintain the loyalty that the game has created, but we also need to get the thing launched, right? Because right now, the current, we're going to be in Final Fantasy Versus 13 status. We're going to be in developing. This thing is going to be in development in alpha forever. So we have to pivot. We have to stop hemorrhaging money. We have to pivot to video. Thank you. And we have to stop hemorrhaging money. So I've got a 3-point proposal. Point 1, we have to ensure the game's marquee features are all still intact. The highly detailed environments, the picturesque cityscapes, the zero loading zones translating into a fully seamless star system. These are all of the things that ensure Star Citizen remains a fully immersive experience. So from the moment a new player wakes up in their modest apartment, the new 1.0 version of Star Citizen, a text-based space adventure, is going to deliver on that. Players can rest assured that the detail of each corner of your space apartment will be described in excruciating detail. As you traverse the streets of the city of Area 18, you're going to experience the dizzying heights of the skyscrapers, watch the bustling streets zoom by on public transit skyways, all through a detailed narrative description that you'll read without any audio backing to distract you.
Oh, my favorite part of video games is the backing.
Reading. So the next priority is to ensure that our space whales, are still satisfied with the thousands of real dollars that they've pumped into the game as pledges. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Star System has a whale bait that they call their concierge levels. This concierge program rewards players based on the amount of money that they've spent. May I remind you that this game is still in early access.
And this is a real thing, not a bit you're doing for this podcast.
Not a bit. This is absolutely a real thing.
Dude, I'm convinced the developers owe people money. Their kneecaps are on the line,
this
and so they
to be
can't
a
walk
money
away.
Laundering scheme.
Yeah,
at this point,
that is the most popular opinion, and I think this game is not a scam. It is a very, very poorly directed passion project. Oh. But there are levels, and again, not a bit. Starting at 1,000, and then going all the way up to $25,000. The Chairman's Club awards special in-game cosmetics, weapons, bespoke ships, and, of course, wink wink, unique titles to people that have paid money based on those levels. Yes, there are plenty of people who are at these levels. Jeez. So imagine, if you will, certain concierge members access their hyper luxurious ships, right? They're going to see all of their gold trim, their, decorated baubles, rare space plans, and all of their other unique personalized amenities described to them very well through colorful narrative. So the third and final priority is to retain the feel and the vibe of open space exploration. Now, right now, Star Citizen's Alpha, again, Alpha 4.4, not even in beta.
Holy smokes.
It only has one navigatable star system. Compare that to what was originally promised was 100 star systems.
Oh my God.
So now, fortunately, with this new text-based system, we can exceed that original promise. with the tools of generative AI and chatbots,
Wow, it got worse. It got worse.
There it is.
there literally are no bounds in the number of star systems we can create. Hell, we can create an infinitely expanding universe within the confines of this singular game. We're going to deliver all of the bespoke customization, the narrative experience that people have pumped thousands of dollars through reading.
My favorite thing about Star Citizen is that, to execute what Andrew just said, half the state of Wyoming will not have water. And they're just so 12 dudes who have invested $25,000 get their return on investment
Can be told that they have a return on investment.
Yeah.
That's
To
crazy.
be clear.
Like, I, as someone who truly enjoys text-based adventures, like have played modern indie text-based adventures within the last 365 days of my existence, if I had paid you 25 grand for skins, if I paid you 25 grand for visible cosmetics, and you sent me back a CVS receipt that told me about them, I'd be so mad.
No, Matt. No, you're not looking at it this way. Imagine if you're playing, I don't know, a game. Let's say Overwatch, for example.
just say Overwatch.
Okay.
There's literally no difference of seeing your $25 Diva skin and being told that you have a $25 Diva skin.
It's somehow worse.
In
In
fact,
excruciating detail.
it might even be better because you can imagine the skin however
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah, theater of the mind, my guy.
Whoa.
If you're a freak pervert, this is great.
Whoa.
I mean,
this is awful. I hate this.
the opportunities are quite literally endless.
My God. Okay. I have to think about the sins of reading about cosmetics that I've purchased, what that would do to my psyche. Kyle, talk to me about Donkey Kong Racing and the modern updates you will make to it.
Yeah, Matt. So the short version of this answer is the kids yearn for a new kart racer. This year we got Mario Kart World and new Kirby Air Ride. I forget if it's Kirby Air Ride 2 or Kirby Air Ride something.
We get it.
We got two new racers for the Nintendo Switch 2, and the resounding response has been, could have been better. And that is where Donkey Kong Racing comes in. Matt, the first thing I want to report is we are not going to change much from the initial planned 2004 GameCube release.
That's a good sign.
We're going to update the physics, the graphics, make it look like a modern racer. But we really think, Matt, in this age where everything is always online, kids are depressed and anxious, what they really want to get this Christmas, Matt, is a couch co-op game. And that's what we're going to give them. Donkey Kong Racing is not going to have many online features. It is going to be intended to be played best in your living room with your friends and or family. 4 controllers, split screen, classic gaming. We think the retro aspect of split screen gaming is going to be a real draw to kids as they get to experience that for the first time in their young lives.
Wow.
Now, that is to say, this is not going to just be an updated version of Diddy Kong Racing. There were new mechanics they had planned for Donkey Kong Racing that I think are going to be a lot of fun. Chief among them is, do you know the animal buddies in Donkey Kong Country, the Donkey Kong games? Rambi the rhinoceros, Ungard the swordfish.
Oh, I didn't know
Winky
they had
the
names,
frog.
but I knew what you were talking about.
They have names. These are
The frog's name is Winky.
Winky the frog, Espresso the ostrich, and Squawks the parrot. These were all going to be available as rideable mounts in game for like a temporary boost and to access like new parts of the courses. And we plan to include and improve upon that system by adding further animal buddies to the game, like Donkey Kong Country 2's Rattly the rattlesnake, Squitter the spider, and Clapper the seal. They're all going to be included.
I like those ones less.
Yeah.
What about Glimmer the anglerfish and Quox the parrot? Different than Squawks the parrot.
Quox was the purple parrot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. He goes up and down instead of left to right.
yeah.
I think it shot coconuts differently too.
That sounds right. Other than
Source, trust me, bro.
Source, trust me, bro. I was
know.
there. Other than that, Matt, we think the novelty of split screen multiplayer and just the quality of life updates from Diddy Kong Country to a modern gaming system are going to be plenty to have these things flying off the shelves, even at the $80 price tag that video games are here in 2025.
I love Kyle, the audacity of just like, you're doing the thing that Nintendo has been doing since 2004, which is like couch co-op though.
Stay in the course.
Couch co-op?
Are they wrong?
I mean, I guess not.
I don't know. The seamless and banner success of Animal Crossing New Horizons Online did shake my faith in couch co-op.
Yeah. I think they were just trying to hide the fact that the Nintendo Switch Online app is so bad.
Oh, God.
Two of the three major console makers have expressed concern at keeping up the rate of improvements that they have done year system after system, and Nintendo isn't one of them.
Nintendo's not even in the room.
It's a fair point. So here's the thing is like, Kyle, your answer gave me the exact same feeling that Andrew's answer gave me, but reversed. Like as bad as Andrew's answer made me feel was as good as your answer made me feel. And then you said the retro experience of split screen video games. And that dealt 100 points of critical psychic damage to me. Hearing split screen gaming described as like a unique experience, albeit correct, is deeply horrifying and upsetting to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is troubling to think about. Like, I've got young nieces and nephews. It's troubling to think that quite literally many of them have probably gotten through their adolescence without playing a split screen multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, that it is like a sort of novel concept to them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I reckon with that, Todd, bring us to the present for new Overwatch 2.
Yeah, Matt, it's the Overwatch 2 that we were promised, and we deserve it. Bits aside, just briefly, Overwatch 2, obviously incredibly popular squad shooter. We already talked about it in the recent flavor text. You could look the sources to cite here. Every collegiate esports league, also every Buffalo Wild Wings a few years ago. So like it's got legs. But aside from the big change that we are actually releasing the feature of a campaign with customizable skill trees, we're going to add some different play styles to it. So to Blizzard's credit, small indie firm Blizzard, PvE squad-based shooters only started to get their legs under them during the, let me check real quick, early 2000s. So, it's really tough to think that games like Perfect Dark and Time Splitters 2 that were on previous generation Nintendo systems, how can we expect someone to catch up to that technology to be honed in 2 decades later? That and individual skill trees for shooting games, for first-person shooters, really didn't exist until like 2009 with Borderlands 1. So again, the technology just needed time to breathe to really refine itself. So as to what you're getting here, so let's be clear here. For this campaign style storytelling, you can play with customizable teams of as small as 3 people up to 6. That's right, 6 if you want them.
Holy shit!
Person
6
teams.
people playing Overwatch? That's too many.
Some would say 16% too many.
Todd, we're gonna have to invite that friend we kicked out of the.
Yeah, you are gonna invite him back.
Yeah,
but when you play the campaign, 3 to 6 people on your squad. And your skill trees for each character will allow you to not just take the character as is, but then build them up the different kind of class lines of either, their base class, but then you can make them more healing, more tanky, more DPS to kind of have this like fun little balance in what you're doing. I would compare the skill trees to Borderlands-ish, but the skill tree selection will be a lot more intuitive and quicker than Borderlands is. Because like Borderlands, you do a lot of reading. We don't have time for reading in video games, Andrew.
Certainly not.
Yeah, only nerds read.
Yeah. And so lastly, the big rollout here is that since Overwatch does seasons, which I think are like 3 to 4 months, I don't know. I couldn't be bothered to look that up.
90 days.
Perfect.
Yeah.
3 months.
As long as most engagements last.
Yeah. My man. Love that. Lastly, there will be a different campaign released every 4 months, so 3 a year. So theoretically, a rollout could be for the first campaign, it follows like the good guys of Overwatch largely through a story. And in the second third of the year, it is the what are they, the Blackguard or whatever?
Talon? Is that what you're looking for? That'd be the bad guys.
Talon, that's what I
Talon
said. You got it. Could have been the same thing. You know, the second season is maybe the bad guys of Overwatch. And then the third season every year is like a big combining of the two during the story to give you a little bit of everything to go out there. So we're doing the campaign. We're doing customizable characters, teams of 3 to 6. It's everything we were promised. And now you can get it just 6 years after it was promised. The technology caught up. I don't know, man.
Yeah, it is. It's really stark when you point out how long some of that technology has existed. I do think it is fair and reasonable to remember that Activision Blizzard is a small independent gaming studio, and we should give them the grace of taking the time.
Just so hard.
Well, and like what's so funny is too, like Time Splitters 2 was on GameCube.
Perfect Dark was on N64.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, and Time Splitters 2 specifically had a PvE like asymmetrical capture the flag assault game in 2002.
Wow.
Well, nobody told ActiBliz, and they had to find out themselves. So
It's fair.
Anyway, let's come back to the seance table. It's time to summon the scariest ghost of all. The one that is going to show us somebody's grave, and then the lightning's going to strike, and we're going to discover whose grave it is. The ghost of gaming's future. Holiday smash hits are required to spawn at least one sequel and one spinoff. So what does the future of your gaming franchise hold? Andrew, tell us about Star Citizen.
Yeah, so with a game like Star Citizen, an ever-evolving life simulator in space, there's really not a reason to make a direct sequel, right? Because, like, why throw an entire game in the trash just to slap a 2 on it and re-release it, right? Am I
Who
right?
would do that?
Can't imagine. So the way to expand the Star Citizen franchise is to instead create more like isolated narrative experiences that are set, within the larger universe, pun intended. So we want to go back to the original pitch for Star Citizen all the way back to 2012 and capture, what originally brought people to love this game in the first place. And that's its flight sim roots, right? So what I'm thinking is the sequel, quote unquote, the sequel to Star Citizen, a text-based space venture, is going to draw on Chris Roberts' Wing Commander roots. So we're going to create an open world experience set from within the Star Citizen universe where players can, fly their own customized ships around in a fully explorable world. They can follow the side of the law and hunt down dangerous criminals. They can mine for precious materials to build their trade empire, or they can plunder and murder for profit. It's all about, small scale dogfights leaning into large-scale, massive space battles. Now, more importantly, the ships are going to need to feel personalized and unique so that, you want people to have an emotional tie to them. You want people to have that, that natural, organic connection to what they're flying. So we think the best way is to encourage this is to allow players to design their own, and maybe pick their own bespoke starships using in-game currency. That, of course, they can shortcut by purchasing with real dollars. So we're going to launch an online marketplace that people can buy their own starships for use in the game that will eventually go live.
That's what they're doing right now.
What?
Isn't
that was the answer to your first question?
That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right.
Well,
That's too hard.
Did you just make EVE Online? I feel like you just made EVE Online.
So the ghost of Christmas Future is pointing to himself. Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to also ask the question: does this mean do I need to invest another 25,000? Is that what you're telling me? I just need to know where I need to put the money. Do I need more
Todd,
ships?
you get to invest another 25.
Yeah, sorry.
Thank
Where's
you,
my opportunity?
Thank you. You're not investing anything. You're investing in yourself. This is a pledge to you, Todd Thomas, for your future life as a space pirate. Don't you want to be a space pirate, Todd?
Do I just tweet the picture of the front and back of my credit card to the account directly? Is that the fastest way to get this done?
Yeah, well, that we'll accept that.
Okay.
Wow, that was an evil and wicked thing that you did.
And what the worst part is, Andrew, like, it's kind of being done.
It is. It literally is.
No, it's not even kind of. It is. You're right.
Oh boy. Quick question though. So in this reality in which we are living, you're suggesting that this is going to be the future of the game. So when people buy the expensive spaceships, is it going to come up in the text simulator? Or
no,
is it not the text game? Oh,
no, this is different.
It's a different thing.
This is totally different. Yeah,
Sequel's
we're building. Yeah. We're building the fan base and the loyalty for the Star Citizen universe. And then we're going to use the cache. We're going to reinvest in the franchise itself and deliver a brand new experience that is primarily funded by an online marketplace where you can buy spaceships.
All right.
I don't see the difference.
Well, I'm glad that I clarified personally.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. Kyle, talk to me about Donkey Kong Racing.
Yeah, Matt. So the future of Donkey Kong Racing looks pretty bright because in blowing the dust off of Donkey Kong Racing from 2004, when it was originally supposed to be released, we learned a few more things about what people are looking for in their like couch multiplayer games and in their like kart racers in general. One thing that has always set the Diddy Kong Racing apart from Mario Kart was its two extra like forms of kart, quote unquote, you could drive: the plane and the hovercraft, made for more interesting and different tracks than you could get in Mario Kart 64 at the time. We're going to build off of that. We already did some of that with the animal buddies as rideable mounts that you get, but we're going to also add a few more karts, if you will. The first being a boat. We're going to have like a speedboat course that players can race on, and then a big rigs, a semi-truck, almost Crazy Taxi-esque challenge for players to compete against, where they have to get the payload to the destination intact and as fast as possible. We think that's going to be great. The other thing we found out, Matt, is that while racing and competing that kind of challenge against their friends is fun, players also want to do battle with each other. Fortnite's incredibly popular. They want to fight. And there has not been a new Twisted Metal game since 2012.
And they've got a TV show now.
The TV show shows up before the video game series when you Google search it, and I think that's criminal.
Wow.
That is why we are going to add the Rumble in the Jungle play mode to Donkey Kong Racing 2 when that comes out, which will just be Twisted Metal, but Donkey Kong and fun and cute instead of like excessively gory and irreverent instead.
All right, cool, man. I really liked both Twisted Metal and Wave Racer 64, and putting Donkey Kong in those games only improves them. So that's pretty exciting. I like that. Todd, tell me about the future of Overwatch 2.
Matt, hold on to your butts. Let me blow your mind. Overwatch 2, wildly successful. This relaunch coming out this Christmas, this holiday season, even better. The future, Overwatch 3. That's right, 3.
Oh, no.
And Matt, we are going to just blow the lid off of the expectations here. We are going to break incredible new grounds, doing things that have never been done before, Ideas like skirmishes with more than 2 teams. That's right. There can be more than 2 teams on one map. We can have 4v4v4 or 3v3v3v3 because obviously 12 is the maximum amount of characters that can be on an Overwatch map at one time.
Legally speaking.
Legally. Also, for all you people that just can't get over it, we're letting you have your 6th teammate back in deathmatch if you want it, I guess, you little pervs. You can have it. It's back, I guess. Now, as far as the spinoff goes, I am obligated to announce we will be spinning off into a game called Overwatch Royale. Yeah, you get it. It's what you think it is. We are, however, going to revolutionize both the game of Overwatch and the Royale setting here by allowing teams of 3 to 4 to battle out on maps with control of, get this, 24 players at one time, Matt. 24. There are 24. We've done it. We have the technology.
Whoa.
We can do it. This is truly a revolutionary step in elevating a franchise that continues to break through barriers and not limit itself. The sky's the limit as long as the sky is 24 people.
Sorry, Todd, I need to are other games even doing that? Is that even possible?
I looked around real quick. I think 24 is the most players that have been on any map on any game ever. But don't go and look because I don't want us to slow down the recording. I want us to not waste time on fact checking
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, 24 players, Matt. Can you imagine?
24 whole players in my Overwatch lobby. What would I even do? Where would I even begin? Well, this has been an exciting journey through the mists and mind space of the ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future. Gaming, past, present, and future. Not Christmas. This is non-denominational winter celebration. Anyway, I do have one final question, and this doesn't come from the ghosts. This one comes from me, from my own heart.
No, this is a fun one.
Long-time Debate This fan, not just a co-host, but a fan, and a real lover of our weird peripheral episodes. So I've got a super secret bonus question. We've spent years exchanging the most egregious devices in gaming history, and it's time we put them to use. What peripheral from a prior DT Christmas episode will pair I will get your answers right after this. We here at DT HQ are teaming up with other podcasters, streamers, and creators across the internet to help fight hunger. We're fundraising for Feed America, a nationwide, independent, secular hunger relief organization. No one should fight alone, and right now, 47 million Americans are facing food insecurity and losing access to vital support like SNAP. You can join us in this fight from November 24th through December 21st. Donate, share, and spread the word that every dollar raised can provide up to 10 meals through Feeding America. There's more information and a direct donation link in the show notes for this episode, and you can also find more information on our social media at DebateThisCast. With the power of our community, we can fight hunger and prove that while no one is right, everyone deserves to eat. All right, we're back. I have heard all about Star Citizen, Donkey Kong Racing, and Overwatch 2, canceled games that we are reviving this holiday season. And I've left you with one question. On this wall in the office of terrible gaming peripherals that we've definitely given each other in real life, which of them will pair perfectly with your game and why? Andrew, we'll start with you.
Well, I thought about, how do we ramp up the immersion that is already in place in something that is so immersive like this space sim. So I figured the best way to do that was to find a partner that could help players simulate an authentic experience of being behind the cockpit of their favorite starships. As we said at the beginning of the episode, that's pretty much every peripheral we've ever done.
At least one a year.
At least one
a year.
Maybe not the chainsaw controller, but here's the other thing. We also don't want to spend a lot of money. So, thanks to our friends at PlayOn, we've learned that a landfill containing upwards of thousands of PlayOn game boats exist. So we're gonna repurpose those smelly plastic rafts into smelly plastic starship cockpits. Now you might be asking, Andrew, but I thought you said this is a text-based adventure. That's a good point, Matt, because we've got one more thing to add. Each play on game boat cockpit will come in fully installed with a GameCube ASCII keyboard controller so that you can get the full experience of typing back into the text-based or the text adventure prompt.
Honestly, great. That's really good.
Thanks.
I listened to a podcast somewhat recently that talked about the Atari buried ET in the desert situation.
Yeah.
And it amounted to this environmental scientist going to the landfill and exhuming some copies of ET. And apparently the only thing anybody talks about when they find a landfill copy of ET is the smell, because things that get buried in landfills apparently pick up this unbelievably noxious odor that you just cannot get rid of. And so
Makes
taking
sense.
an already smelly boat out of the ground years later and selling it to our whales in the text-based adventure is really good. I love it.
Yeah.
Call you
Truly the
Captain
gift that
Ahab
keeps
how
on
you're
giving.
catching whales with that boat.
Truly the gift that keeps on giving.
All right, Kyle, what peripheral are we doing with Donkey Kong?
Matt, I first want to say my original answer to this was also the play on game boat.
Oh no.
Of course.
Since our customers are already going to get the play on game boat from Star Citizen, I have another answer. So Matt, one thing we think players will really like to explore with the different cart options, the boat, the plane, the hover car, the tank, et cetera, are also different control methods, specifically more sophisticated and sensitive controls. That's why we think the Thrustmaster Fragmaster controller is going to be the perfect peripheral to pair with Donkey Kong Racing. It's going to put players right in the cockpit of that plane they're flying, right behind the steering wheel of the hovercraft they're piloting. It's going to put them right behind the giant gun of the tank they use to shoot their friends trying to win the Rumble in the Jungle mode in Donkey Kong Racing 2. So that is my answer. This, not the play on game boat, but the Thrustmaster Fragmaster.
Hell yeah, man. I think the Thrustmaster Fragmaster is one of the better deep cuts of, if it's a deep cut, I think it's a deep cut of our Christmas eps, and definitely the shape of controller that I would love to use to drive a boat in a video game.
Yeah.
Todd, what peripheral will we pair with Overwatch 2?
Yeah, I was also going to say the play on game boat. No, I wasn't going to. No. I do want to say, this isn't the answer, but I was so tempted to pitch the idea. So there are 44 current characters in Overwatch 2. I was so razor's edge to pitch the idea,
Until tomorrow. At time of recording, 45 comes out tomorrow.
Well, nobody knows because nobody actually plays Overwatch.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's hard to know. You uninstalled it. No one's played it.
Not me.
So I was half tempted to do 44 different iterations of motion controlled controllers. I was really, really close. So close. But the real answer is the Aura Interactor, the haptic feedback suit that we talked about years ago. Because here's my thought. If you're going to get hit by Reinhardt's slam, I want you to feel it. I want you to feel it. I want you to think about it.
To cave in.
Yeah. Suddenly, you've got a Zenyatta orb floating around you, and your body feels these warm, pulsing, healing glow of the healing aspect of it. Or every ping feels approximately 20 to 25% worse, depending on the patch we're currently in. If you are yoinked by Lifeweaver, it's a pleasant, pushing, lifting, floating feeling. Versus if you get hooked by Roadhog, suddenly a quick jolt shakes you to the side. But the real answer why it needs to be the Aura Interactor haptic feedback suit is this may be the only way that the devs can actually get you to take Doomfist seriously ever again. Because a fully charged up Doomfist punch may literally put you through the drywall behind you. And I think that's important for people to reckon with.
Yeah, man. I mean, that seems like the right answer. If you're going to put a weird controller in a hero shooter, it should be one you can feel.
I appreciate this answer because everyone deserves a little treat, even Matt. And that was a little treat for Matt.
Yeah.
I will say, though, the thought of, I'm going to play Reinhardt. I better get this huge piece of plastic that's a hammer and put my controller into it so I can play Reinhardt today is really good.
I mean, absolutely, there is a world where Overwatch was released in the Wii era, and every hero got a plastic thing you plugged your Wiimote into.
Ugh.
Like I had NHL Slapshot or whatever. I had a hockey stick I plugged my Wiimote into. And I remember standing in my basement playing that game
but you
for
didn't
hours.
but they didn't sell a different hockey stick for each NHL team.
Well, I'll go further. They made Wii Slop for every Wii Sports game, but that's still only like 6 to 10. I'm talking 44. You got 44 of them.
Yeah. And those games also weren't trying to go online with the Wii's native dial-up.
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot to consider here at the DT HQ winter non-denominational holiday celebration as we decide which of these games should be revived for gamers for 2026. But before we go, I would love to hear your closing arguments, a final pitch for why you feel like your game should get made.
Matt, my version of Star Citizen represents the true spirit of the holidays, which is looking at all of those people that spend tens of thousands of dollars of in-game real money currency to get bespoke, unique cosmetics to lord over other people, and quite literally pulling them up by their underwear.
Matt, Donkey Kong Racing is the perfect game to have come out in time for winter solstice adjacent holiday for the reason we all think it is. Kids want to play games in the same room as their friends again. They want to hang out with their friends when they play games, and we want kids to experience that classic Christmas morning feeling of throwing your controller through a wall because your brother keeps spamming you with missiles in the airplane levels. And we want to give that to our consumers.
Matt, we delivered on Blizzard's Overwatch 2 promises, and I'll tell you, that is either a holiday miracle or a sign of the apocalypse, so we got to lean into one of both.
All right, great. Why don't you guys give each other some good vibes, and I'll come up with an answer.
Sure, yeah. Kyle, Donkey Kong Racing is such a good answer, and I count myself among the people who remember watching footage or seeing footage of this game. I loved Diddy Kong Racing, and I remember seeing Nintendo Power footage of Donkey Kong like riding the ostrich or the rhino, one of the two, and being among the, where was I when Rare was bought by Microsoft crowd. And actively remembering this is a casualty of that breakup. Such a good pool. That would be such an instant purchase for me. Nintendo would absolutely get my $79.99 USD.
Immediate hype.
Yeah, and I can't wait to be disappointed by it because of my ridiculous expectations. Todd, I don't know what this game Overwatch is, but I appreciate your confidence and I appreciate the aplomb with which you delivered.
It's flying under the radar. Not many people have heard of it.
Yeah, not many people have heard of it. I do, again, similarly, I mean, I distinctly remember like we were all in the camp of, man, when Overwatch 2 comes out, we're just gonna really,
We're gonna hop on day one and be the best at it.
Yeah, I mean, look, like the only thing that's gonna get me to purchase a game faster than, hey, this is a team-based PvE shooter where all of the, you can customize your characters. The only thing that's going to get me to buy a game faster is saying Donkey Kong Racing is now live on the eShop. So these are both great answers. Yeah, awesome job.
Yeah, Andrew, Star Citizen as Schrodinger's game release is a great pull, and turning this game touted for like endless exploration and incredible graphics of each new world you explore as a text-based adventure so they can just keep pumping out content faster and faster for the big whales is incredible. Fantastic pool. even though it's a game that you can download and play today, it is also not out. I love it. And Todd, also never heard of Overwatch before, but
yeah, no, I get that a lot.
But Overwatch 2 sounds really cool. I think this PvE mode that you theorize sounds like a lot to take on, and I hope small indie studio Blizzard can handle such a monumental task.
I think what I like most about Star Citizen is that, dreamt up in the early 2010s, the longer they drag their feet, they are just almost certainly going to lean into AI slop and NFTs.
They already have.
It's perfect. I mean, they couldn't have known back then, but here we are now.
Yeah.
They tripped into what is, again, either very clearly money laundering or the sunk cost fallacy of we've come too far and we can't stop now. Our kneecaps and children depend on it.
Yeah.
Which is incredible to me. Kyle, I'm so thrilled you brought up the Thrustmaster Fragmaster. I had to look up a picture of that because I forgot how just unappealing that looked. It was like they took the N64 controller and said, what if we make it less wieldy somehow? What if we find a way to make it harder to look at?
I think kids long for couch multiplayer games, kids also long for gadgets again.
Yeah.
And the Thrustmaster Fragmaster is definitely a gadget. Does it do what it's supposed to? Kind of.
Technically.
Yeah. It's way better to have as a look at this thing I have, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm with Andrew as well that I do remember some of this footage because I distinctly remember the ostrich running animation that you were talking about. But also as a huge Diddy Kong Racing fan, that was a game I rented multiple times and played the shit out of over the weekends that I had it. That life could have maybe been different if there was a real rival to Mario Kart, a true to form champion to hold its own.
Crash Bandicoot tried, and
what are you talking about? We've got Sonic Team Racing, Todd. Come on,
dude. I've watched the playthrough. Kirby Air Ride has me better than that does, and that playthrough also looks bad.
Kirby Air Ride rules. I don't care what anyone says.
The new one?
I haven't seen much of the new one, but
yeah, I saw some. Sorry, off topic. I saw Alpharad do some playthrough with the new one, and it doesn't look good.
Oh no!
Oh, that's
it looks fine.
Well, before we end this non-denominational winter holiday celebration, I do believe it is time for us to pick a game to be revived for 2026 and brought back for gamers everywhere. And because I have to pick one game, I also have to let two people know that we're not picking their game. And the first one's going to be you, Todd. Unfortunately,
it's not coming out. You're telling me it's not coming out?
Oh no.
I consider myself to be in the minority of people who, when they announced Overwatch 2 and they started talking about all the we're going to do PvE and all this customizable stuff, I was like, man, I sure hope they don't muck up my Overwatch game with PvE and customizable skill trees. And so I sit atop my mountain of putrid hatred.
Bad takes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bad takes. And
Bad Take Mountain.
I don't I am the king of Bad Take Mountain. And up here, I kind of like Overwatch 2 the way it is right now. So I'm not going to do
5v5 and all.
Absolutely. The game's better with 5 people on each team. I could give a dissertation about it, but nobody wants that.
And on the 8th day, God said, there shall be only one tank.
You shall remove 16% of your friend group. And then also they can't watch while you play. And also they can't sit and chat while you play. And you just can't have a 6th friend.
Now, that leaves me with Star Citizen and Donkey Kong Racing. And I got to shoot straight with you, Andrew. I love, absolutely love the concept of we have taken 15 years of gaming whale money and we've made a text sim. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Unfortunately, 54% of American adults read below a 6th grade level, and we just don't think that we can do a text-based simulator in 2025. We don't know that enough gamers read.
It's fair.
So that leaves me with Donkey Kong Racing, And we are going to live in the better timeline where we get a Donkey Kong Racing brought to you by one Kyle Harper in 2026, and probably Rare, a company that I think is dissolved now. Don't they like completely not exist?
No, they exist.
Yeah, they exist.
I thought they got like sold off in parts.
I mean, they're just part of the Microsoft like blob of
yeah,
yeah,
like small indie developer Activision Blizzard.
Yeah,
That's correct.
they're attached. Yeah. They're attached to Microsoft like an anglerfish. They've just become part of it, but they're still like technically there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what a great place to end this 2025 holiday episode and the 2025 season of Debate This. Thank you for listening to Debate This, and thank you for joining us for another season of this wild podcast that we do. We could not do it without you, and we appreciate your support every year, and especially here in the holiday times when we are forced to spend time with people we don't always care the most about. It's nice to know that you guys care about us. So thank you so much for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon at Debate This Cast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. If you want to support Debate This more in the new year, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/debatethiscast. For the low price of $5 a month, not only do you get into our Patreon exclusive Discord, you also get access to all of the Patreon content we've ever released. You can listen to all of the Office Drones. You can listen to all of Deconstructed. And coming next year, you can listen to all of Fellowship This, a.k.a. One Does Not Simply Start a Lord of the Rings watch-along podcast, here in pod again.
Nailed it.
Hell yeah.
I'm never going to say the title. This is catch me on this recording right this moment. I'm going to live through the life cycle of this Patreon show and never say the title out loud.
My goal is to keep adding titles.
Matt, I need you to pull out the clip of Todd saying that now, so when he inevitably does say it in a year and a half, we can get his ass.
Done. Easy. Consider it saved to the Dropbox. Until next time, I'm Matt Cole.
I'm Andrew. The last time I legitimately read something without an audio backing was when Donkey Kong Racing was announced. Henderson.
I'm Kyle, 6 friends in this economy, Harper.
And I'm Todd, a 3-paragraph text readout for your new Mercy skin with 2 paragraphs dedicated just to her feet, Thomas.
We're saying thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.